designing, we are proposing an idea for an archaeological site and how we can reconnect the site to nature. Our site is in a little town it's on built up in the town of Minerva, which is the hill, the archaeological site that we're looking into is called Rocca di Minerva. And so that's our site. So the site is actually it's predominantly an agricultural site. So there's a lot of green around the area. The area itself that we're looking at is that little point up the top where it's the archaeological site. So we're trying to relink the nature and the archaeological site, but also in a visual way, and also with the paths as well. So and yeah, Justin can talk about the timeline and talk a bit about the archaeological site and its timeline.
Yeah, so we made a timeline to sort of visualize what went on at the archaeological site, because we went up there, we went to the site, and we saw that there was not really a clear timeline of what happened in chronicle order. So the first human settlements were they date back to prehistoric times. Then around 0 to 100 AD, the Roman villa was built there. Before Christ, yeah. No, AD is after Christ. There were like a lot of different settlements around there on the site. They got broken down, built up again. So there's a lot of it's not really clear for some settlements what they were, and if there was, for instance, if it was a Roman villa or a tower, or the Temple of Minerva. Yeah, so there's a lot of unclarity about that. But we put the things in this timeline that we knew for sure that were there. There was an early medieval church that was built there. It lasted quite a long time. The fortress was built around it eventually. And the medieval castle, as you can see, is around 1500 to 34 to 1574, and which it got destroyed because there were a lot of bandits who took over the place, and the government decided to destroy the castle to get out all the bandits. So that's in short what went on there.
So we had two main areas, the archaeological one and the natural one, and we decided to study how they are connected. So we studied all the paths, and you can see that there are a lot of paths, but maybe they are not well connected, and there's also problems about signs. So when you are walking, you often you don't know where you are going, and this is so they are difficult to be
the wayfinding
Yeah.
around the area.
Yes.
It's difficult.
Accessibility is
So basically we noticed that there was some problem. For example, as we can see in the upper left, there are some roads on the cliff in which there are nothing that can help you not to fall off. It's not easy to fall off, of course, but it may happen. So we thought about how can we give something to help. So we focus on safety, give help and try to connect and link the two areas. So, with this in mind, we think about, for example, how to improve the area of the Rocca. For example, we can see there is an element in the mid left picture. There's an element on the ground which is modern and it's not really related with the area. It's a pump, a water pump. It's not related with the area. In the down left picture, we can see that is a sign which is it has been just destroyed. Well, it's no more deep into the terrain. In the upper right picture, we can see that the area for resting, the picnic area, is just abandoned. The grass grown till the table, nobody uses it, and of course it's not really useful because the sun just the area is not really useful to stay there. Then we have some other elements. For example, in the middle right picture, we have an element which comes from after the Second World War. It was used to check the speed of airplanes. It just abandoned and used like that. It's not really good. And so the path, as we can see in the lower right picture, is slippery. It could be slippery. So again, safety became important in that sense.
So there are many problems, but we decided to focus our attention on connections. So we decided to introduce new signs and new paths because the area is a very memorable area and people must visit it and must comprehend what they are visiting.
Here, other picture about the sanctuary and the picnic area, the path and the picnic area. As you can see, for example, the path which leads from the archaeological side and the natural side, it's not only slippery, but we can see, for example, those steps which rain just destroy them. They are not useful. You have to go to the left part, and it's more dangerous than it should like in this picture.
Yeah, so we were looking at what do we want to, what are our aims for this project, and we wanted to reconnect the archaeological area with the natural area, because right now it's sort of separated. There's little coherence between the two areas, and we wanted to bring history into make it interesting for society, like making it attractive. So those are I think our two main aims. So reconnecting the archaeological area with the natural landscape and history with modern times.
So this is our proposal. We have added some new paths to better visit the area. You can see that we have introduced a path right here and here. So from parking from this park, people can reach Rocca, and we have also linked other paths. And we have also introduced a main path, so people can do a main road,
Yeah, so this we made a sort of circle because first it was like it was just a route and you had to go to one point from A to B, and you had to like to B and go back to A, and make a circle, so you see different things all the time.
So we organized the path to give the people and tourists, even locals, an idea of where they can go and easily help them to reach the place they want to go.
And we also introduce, you can see this, the word totems, because totems are the signs that we have decided to use. We have two different totems, and they are the biggest one and the smallest one.
So this is a diagram showing the bigger totems. So we've kind of mapped it out on the roca, and then we have the Grand Sasso, and then also the natural site. So we've kind of put those big totems that do light up at night, and we also played the idea of reflection, which we'll show you later. So it's a visual element that links the three. So if you're on one side, you can see that little totem as well. So so people are curious to see what's over there. So this is the archaeological site. So these are the bigger totems that we've placed onto the site. So we put one on the entrance, and then we put one next to the church, and then we put the next one up the top. We put one on where the Temple of Minerva was used to be, and then the outpost of the tower. So these little totems have, so this diagram shows how it's used. So the first diagram shows that, so the top bit of the totem, has solar panels, so it creates energy in the morning, and then after that at night, all that, it lights up at night, so that we've kind of addressed the idea of safety. So we've tried to illuminate the area, and also it makes it a bit more attractive so people can go there at night as well. And then there is also information panels on there. So we've mapped out where to put the totems on interesting sites where we want people to actually go to and have a look. So these information will talk about the history or the view or something a bit about the site, so people are more informed what is happening. Because when we went to site, we didn't really see any. We had a couple of signs, but they weren't very interesting, and you don't really stop and read it. So these totems are designed so people can actually interact with it and actually be a bit more interested to see what's happening. And we designed a smaller totem where we have the signs, because we had the problem of wayfinding. So these signs also just help people find out where the roca is and stuff like that as well. And they light up at night, so you really use it at night as well. And yeah.
So designing those totems, we have thought about the idea of lightness, because we wanted that we like the idea of lightness and the idea of something that is not intrusive. So we decided to use only two materials, timber and aluminium. Timber because it's strictly connected with nature, and aluminium because of is a reflection. So it reflects nature, and so the totems are not so. The impact is minimal.
And also with these, also with the reflections, they also kind of reflect in the sunlight as well. So these are kind of like a beacon, a light beacon in the morning, but at nighttime it lights up. So this is just the two renders that show how it kind of used on site. And yeah, so you can see so it's before and after. So it's before without any signs, and then after the signs, so just to show how it can be used on site. So and that's it.
That's it.
Any questions?
So the aluminium that reflects light.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering, would that maybe cause a potential fire? What if that reflects light in turn and then it said something like that? I don't know if you can it?
We choose aluminium just because we don't want it and don't mirrors.
Yeah.
Just because we don't want to have that kind of accident.
Okay.
We have to reflect light and, of course, even the image and the nature without improve the solar beam is correct, solar beam. The sunlight without improving the force of the sunlight. So we need to take something.
It's also like flat, so it's not, the light just bounces off. It's not like it's in a ball form. It doesn't center the light to the area.
So I can't remember what it is. It's Frank Gehry's. Well, all of these buildings. Anyway, those. There's one in New York, but it's right next to the building. On a hot day, the building gets so hot that the sidewalk becomes unbearable to walk next to the building because the heat radiating the solar gain on that building is insane. Just in terms of materiality, it shows only 2. Would that not?
Yeah, but
We
it's
do
our
not have the
smaller totems, they're not a massive
35
building.
degrees outside, and it reflects, it's going to be 50 next to the top, and you won't be able to go and read the sign. What if the sign melts?
We don't think the sign could melt because we use material which won't melt only because of sunlight.
No, I'm just saying the actual thing will heat up so much, a piece of metal.
Yeah, probably.
So I was just curious if, if that was a consideration.
In the natural area, probably light won't be so concentrated that it could be really heat up the material because there are a lot of shadow because of the trees.
Okay.
In the upper area, it may happen. Maybe it may happen. It may heat up.
We should study more the materials.
No, like mirror interactive. You can use a mirror interactive smart mirror, smart material. They know, my students, they know. Juliana Scuderi lesson. She showed shows a list of smart materials that you can change with the
Remote.
yes.
Okay.
So I think questo.
It may be a solution. For example, we can think that the element which stands on the top of the ecological site probably will heat up, but as carbon will heat up, so not really hot that
Yeah.
someone can just stand aside because he will burn. Nothing like that.
Melted. That's cool. Okay.
Like
Thanks.
the glass.
Yeah.
The glass that it became black, and then they are transparent.
Okay. Yeah.
Very English. I understand, but yes. Okay.
Other question?